Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. I want to just do a quick tour, talk about fall gardening. I've been getting a lot of questions about that, but I want to just again go over what you can plant in the fall. These are cool weather crops. They can take a frost, meaning the leaves can freeze and the plants are perfectly fine. I'm in Maryland Zone 7. A lot of people have been asking me, well, what is considered fall weather? So you want night temperatures in the 50s, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, day temperatures upper 60s, lower 70s. That really means that that fall cool weather's coming in. It's also raining today. Raining with the cool weather means the soil temperature is cooling down. That's perfect for fall gardening. And you have to adjust. If you go south for me, you know, it's probably a little bit early. Maybe you don't quite get in your cool weather crops yet. If you go up north, you might be a little bit behind. The rain is actually starting to pick up. Let's walk right into here. So some of the things that you can plant as seed right now here in Maryland Zone 7 are lettuces, spinach, radishes. I've got lettuce flats. You can certainly do transplants. I'm doing peas as transplants and direct sowing. So I have radishes right in there. I have endive. Endive is a wonderful green. These were put in on September 6th. Today's September 11th. It's been 5 days, and I have some red lettuce in the back there. Your greens are going to germinate quickly, so you have plenty of time to put them into the ground, get them going. Some lettuce transplants in there, some pea transplants in there. This is another wave of radishes, daikon in the back, and those are sparklers right in the front. Basically red radishes, round radishes with a white tip. They went in on August 30th. Broccoli transplants went in about 3 weeks ago. They have taken off. Once your transplants are growing, they're really going to accelerate with the warmth of the soil because it's summer going into fall and the temperature's beginning to cool. They love that warmth to really get growing. Going to take a pause because the rain's coming down hard. The rain has slowed down. And again, the question I keep getting is, can I start this from seed? Do I have to do this from transplants? I can't answer that because our gardens are all over the place. But when you get that 70-degree temperatures coming in regularly during the day, you get a cooling rain like we're getting now, that's really prepping your garden for the cool weather crops. Again, the broccoli's all taken off because they love the warmth right now, but by the time it comes to, when the time comes that it starts forming the nice broccoli head in there, the ground's going to be cooler, the air temperature's going to be cooler, and instead of that broccoli crown really beginning to flower and bolt, it's going to stay nice and firm, and I should get a beautiful harvest of broccoli out of these plants. I can grow broccoli better summer into fall than I can from spring into the summer because it just gets too warm too quickly. I've dropped in some cauliflower transplants here in Maryland Zone 7. It's a little bit late to put seeds in the ground for broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. So if you can get transplants, that would be great. I do encourage people to experiment so you can try it out. Bunching onions. These are my first wave, maybe second wave of bunching onions. Now's a perfect time to drop new seed for bunching onions. And they can take the cold, they'll grow nice and slow, or they'll grow slowly with the cool weather. And you can eat all the greens and then the onions down at the bottom. These don't bulb up like regular onions. They just can grow in this nice bunch. You pull them out, you chop them up. I have some more radishes growing over here. Again, today is the 11th. So I have different waves of radishes and other cool crops going. But really in 8 days, the radishes are up already. Some more cauliflower in here. Getting my kales in. Here are some transplants of kale that I grew. You have time here in Maryland Zone 7 to do kale and collards from seeds. The reason you might do transplants is maybe you don't have room right now. So go ahead and start some seeds somewhere else, and when you have room open up, you can drop in those transplants throughout your garden when you pull out all of your summer crops that are just about done. Lettuce, peas, looking really good. Let's go over to here. For those of you that have been following my channel, just wanted to give you a quick look at how my cool weather seed starts are doing. They're doing really well. I think I started these maybe about 3 weeks ago. You can check out the video that I did on them. Lettuce, spinach, peas, Broccolini, I believe I have kohlrabi in there, even some dill. This is just a great way to start your cool weather garden because I can just kind of manage this all right in this space. I don't have to go out in the garden and tend it all over the place. You want to make sure if you're doing seed starts that this is not sitting in the southern sun. It will bake the trays, it will bake the soil, and a lot of these are going to bolt. They're just not going to do well. Put them somewhere where you get a lot of shade. They'll do fine, and just keep them watered. These are ready to go into the ground. You know, I can probably hold them in here about another week or so. You just don't want these plants to get root bound because they're going to start feeling the warmth from the day because there's not a lot of soil in there, and they may try and flower or try and bolt. So bigger containers, get them out into the garden pretty quickly. You'll have healthy transplants. I love peas, so I'm putting them all over the garden. Growing some dandelions. Cool weather dandelions are absolutely delicious. These are bitter, but they're perfect in salads. This is pak choy and bok choy. They need to be thinned out, and I will just thin these down to one plant today, and I'll get a nice, you know, Chinese cabbage head forming on here. The pak choy, bok choy, in my opinion, should be direct seeded. They tend to bolt really quickly. So if you put these into the ground now and your temperatures are still in the 80s during the day, you may not get a nice formation of your pak choy or bok choy because a flower stalk will come up. That's okay. Put in some seed, wait about 2 weeks, put in some more seed, and kind of take notes, and you'll figure out the timing to get really nice cabbage heads out of your pak choy and bok choy. Spinach is over here. This was put in on August 31st. About 12 days, it's already popping up. You know, things just grow really, really well. Again, it's that warmth of the soil speeds up the germination of the seeds, but then that cold comes in, and that should establish the right temperatures and conditions for your cool crops to really, really grow slowly, but taste delicious. They tend to taste better, I think, with a light frost, meaning I like the taste of the kale and collards. So these are kale transplants, looking good, almost double in size from when I put them out about 7 to 10 days ago. Using the root pouches, I sell these at my seed shop. These are 100-gallon root pouches. These are 10-gallon root pouches. The one over there is a 20-gallon root pouch. Those are the sizes I think that are best for really the garden. Purple top turnips, peas, kale, more purple top turnips. These went in on August 30th, again about 11 days. Waiting for Swiss chard. Swiss chard kind of sprouts slowly even in the warm temperatures, but it's a great cool weather crop. Let's go over to the purple tops that I put in several weeks ago. Right in the back are purple top turnips. They went in maybe 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. They went in while it was still warm, but purple top turnips do really well even with the warmer temperature. So I think these are going to be delicious. But I've been trying to plant the cool crops in waves, some starting in the beginning of August, middle of August. I had some trouble this year because the temperatures just stayed really hot, so I lost some of the cool crops. Don't let that stop you. You can just go ahead and kind of keep planting in those waves and take notes. We have some more cool crops over here. There's my Brussels sprouts. Those plants probably went in about 3 weeks ago, but they're about 8 weeks old because they came from transplants, maybe 9 weeks old. And you can see just the beautiful jump they have right now because I put them in as transplants. In this space on 831, this is kohlrabi that just went in, and these will be thinned down to one plant. So when they get to about this height, I'm thinning everything down to the strongest plant to one. Right over here, these are peas. The smaller peas again went in on same date, August 31st. You can see the taller pea plant right there, one over here. I put in a wave of peas and they just didn't take. I don't know what happened. Don't let that stop you. Peas should germinate really right now in 5 or 6 days. If after 10 days you don't see the peas coming up or you don't see these other cool weather crops coming up, go ahead and replant. So I replanted and I'll have plenty of time to have these peas reach maturity and I'll get pea plants, or I'll get pea pods from the pea plants. This area will be thinned out. Radishes that went in on the 31st, a couple different kinds, German giant, French breakfast. These are tall top early wonder beets, and they are just starting, there's some right there, to break the surface. One right there, a couple in there on the left and right. Beets can take longer, so after about 11 days, 12 days, they're just starting to break the surface now. While other crops like radishes, arugula is a good one, germinate really quickly, sometimes in little as 3 days with these warmer temperatures. And then finally, in this 100-gallon root pouch, I had potatoes in here, harvested everything. 11, 12 days ago, I put in little finger carrots. I'll be thinning these down to 1 or 2 plants per spacing. I put them really closely together. That's maybe 2 inches, 3 inches, something like that. With a grow bag like this, you got plenty of loose soil. You can grow longer 8-10 inch carrots perfectly fine, but I like the little finger carrots. I like the smaller ones. Great germination. Good to have carrots. Put some over here in a 20-gallon container. Took about 10 or 11 days. Carrots are going to germinate much more quickly summer into fall. When I try and plant carrots like this early in the spring, the ground is just too cold. It can take 21 days or longer for the carrots to germinate. Germination isn't great. I don't get a great crop. I really look forward to fall gardening, going in from the summer of August into the fall of September, October, cooler weather, the frost coming in October, November here. You have plenty of time. I hope you give fall weather gardening a shot. The plants that I showed you today are some of the best growers. Go ahead and try them from seed. Even if you're not sure that you have time, that will be perfectly fine. Just take some notes. If you're in a place where it's warmer, you can start some transplants, pick them up at your local nursery, but definitely try and get your cool weather crops in. Thanks for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and please subscribe. I'll show you how all these cool weather crops do this fall, and I'll show you how to grow a vegetable garden.